Hey everybody, it's Kat. I'm going to do that tag that's going around. What is it, 10 things to know about me or something like that. I love her in this little, Savannah in this little seahorse sleeper. But it's time to get her changed. And we're going to put her back in this little outfit. I just love it. So this is what she's going to wear. I know it's kind of long sleeve, but it's really light material. So even though it's a little warm out there today, and I know these are corduroy, I don't care. I want her in this outfit. We'll just pretend it's cold enough for it. Plus we got the air on. So, one of the things that none of you really know about me is back in the day, when I say in the day, about 20 years ago, I'm probably more like 25 now. I was in my early 20s, let's just put it that way. I used to run around with professional wrestlers. Now this was back before the big WWE and, you know, the one that used to be, what was it, WCW or something like that. This is back when wrestling was still real. Good guys and bad guys had to hate each other in the public eye. So we did a lot of car transferring. Maybe one of the bad guys would get in a car with me and we had to go 20 miles out of the city before they were allowed to ride in the same car. So we would do that, meet up with a good guy, and then they would ride on to wherever they were going next. Or if I was going to the same city with them that night, or, you know, for the next day, or I'd just take them along with me, or me with them. It just kind of varied. Back then they did a lot of Polaroid pictures in the ring with your favorite wrestler. So I either took the picture or I took the money and had to keep all that straight. So, it was really a kind of, I saw a lot of things and learned a lot of things during that time. I came close to being seriously hurt several times by fans and different things, but God kept me protected through all of it, and I have no regrets, and if I had to do it all over again, I probably would, because of the stuff I learned. Also, I used to be able to do a lot of photography, and I love photography, and always have. My dad even did photography, and we had a dark room down in his basement. Of course, in our basement. But of course, back in that time and day, I used the enlarger, the thing that printed the picture onto the paper so you can then put it in the solution and get the picture. Well, that was our x-ray machine for our stuffed animals and baby dolls when we played hospital. But just before I got to the point where I can't do the photography like I used to, I did a lot of weddings for my friends, and I did our college graduation one year when the photographer didn't show up. Yeah, I always had my camera with me. But just as I was getting sick to the point where I wasn't able to manage this, I had one of my pictures published in a book. And I was so excited. And, what are you doing on top of the TV, Phoenix? I'm not going to turn it around, but Phoenix is where he never gets kids, you know? But anyway, I had a picture published in the book. I'd taken it here at our local zoo. And that same picture also hung in Camera Club's showing. You know, they have showings where they're, you know, up in a museum or in a bank lobby or something like that for a while. Well, when the contest, I was my picture was one of 100, there were 100 pictures hung, 100 honorable mentions, and mine was one of them. So, I like that. The funny thing about it, though, in my own camera club, that same picture got nothing. Here the picture was published in a book. It was hung in a showing, a gallery showing, in another contest, but for our camera club, nothing. So, anyway, photography is still one of my passions. I don't get my camera out like I used to. There. Let's see, Savannah. Because, you know, with the iPhone, it, let me see if I can zoom that in. No, okay. It's just easier to grab my phone now and take it. And they take decent pictures, but I like to look through that lens. I like to adjust things. Several times I've wanted to set up and do a little photo shoot of the babies, but I just get too tired. But maybe one day I can do some nice photo shoots and I'll post them. See, what's another thing? Oh my gosh, I think I am the world's greatest aunt to my human babies. When my first niece was born and I saw her in the hospital, she had a little mark on her face because they had to use forceps, and I just was like going ballistic because they hurt my baby. I have no biological children. I've never been pregnant. They are my kids. I get emotional. Y'all gonna hear it in my voice. I am in love with every one of them. Not just love them, I am in love with them. They're just my world. I mean, on days that I can hardly move, if one of them calls me and needs something, I am there for them. We better go off the subject or I'm going to start bawling. Okay, I have seen the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Gulf. I have vacationed from the East Coast to the West Coast because I have family in both areas. You know, we did the sites in between, the Grand Canyons. You know, we went to, been to Florida several times. I got, you know, family down there. I've seen the ocean on both sides of Florida and in the Gulf, and all of that. My family took a vacation every year, and we went places. Most of the time we went to Georgia to see family, but we had family in Delaware, and we had family in California. So every so often we made the trek to those two places. I love zoos. Any zoo. Oh my gosh, when I used to work close to our zoo here in town, and every day at lunch I would go to the zoo. I had member passes for years to our zoo, and would go all the time. I've got books, albums, and albums and albums full, which is kind of fun because some of the animals we don't have now, like our polar bear died, and people don't remember that we ever had a polar bear here, or we had black bears here at one time. We just got a sun bear here, so we're getting bears back. But there were a lot of animals that we used to have. We used to have 2 elephants here, and of course our hippo died recently. She was the world's oldest hippo, I believe. Her name was Donna, and she died, I think, within this last year. But I haven't been to the zoo in a long time because it's hard for me to, it's not hard for me to walk. I can walk. I don't have a problem walking. My fear is sometimes when I'm up and I do a lot of walking, my blood pressure drops. And then when that happens, I could pass out. And that kind of scares me, so it kind of keeps me from going. But I think I got to be going to the zoo sometime this week. I've really been wanting to do it. And I visited other zoos like St. Louis Zoo, Louisville Zoo. You know, they're all right here in our area. My biggest dream that I would love to do, dream trip, would be to go on an African safari and see the animals there. So another thing I love is botanical gardens. I love anything to do with flower and nature. Oh my gosh, again, I have tons of photo albums full of flowers. And when I worked, I had along the top of the ceiling where you would put borders, you know, like your wallpaper borders and stuff, I had framed 8x10s of my flowers, all in the same type of frame, just a regular black frame. And yeah, Phoenix is in here and has to get some loving. But anyway, I had them all around the walls of my office. And then they requested that I do a collage of flowers down in the main lobby. So I had that. And anyway, I love it. I get the love of my plants and my flowers from my grandma on my dad's side. I got my green thumb from her. Which, that's another thing. I have a green thumb. And, oh my gosh, my house was a jungle. This house was a jungle. I had plants everywhere. But when I got cats, when I started getting my cats, my plants started diminishing. Well, in fact, they all went to my office is where they went. And then, of course, when I couldn't work any longer, they stayed at the building, but I gave them to one of the other girls. That's a really good friend of mine there at work. Because plants, a lot of the plants are poisonous to cats. And I wasn't going to take a chance of one of them just trying it and getting sick. So I'm hoping I still have a green thumb because I just love it. I used to work in the car rental business. I worked for both National Car Rental and Budget Car Rental. And our airport's very small. But we have a new airport now. But when I worked in the smaller airport, which meant we had one gate. And, oh, the things I saw up there. I saw celebrities. I saw presidents. I was able to go on Kenny Rogers' airplane, on his jet. We had a blast. We had a blast. We also had a lot of crazy people out there. And a lot of us that worked out there were crazy. We had people that would just put lines of cocaine on the bathroom counter and do them right there in public and then come out and make a scene. And then we had, I remember one time, show my age, Anne Murray, if any of you remember her. She was using the pay phones, and all of a sudden she started screaming and jumping up and down, squealing, and she had just won some sort of award or had been nominated for something. Anyway, she was just so happy. Kiss came through there. I got in a little tiff with, I think it's Paul Stanley. I don't remember which one. I'm not a big Kiss person, but anyway, I got a little tiff with him, and he ended up apologizing. Also, as a side note, I was meant to kind of mention when I was talking about wrestling, I ran around with a couple of country stars, too. I'm not going to mention their names. It's not important, but yeah, I was kind of a smarter groupie, I guess is what you say. And okay, I guess the last thing that people may not know about me, or I've mentioned before, was I'm big into animal rescue. Aren't I, buddy? That's where you came from, wasn't it? I was secretary of, in one of our rescue organizations here, that's a no-kill. That was very important to me, to be in a no-kill, which means we didn't have a building. They still don't have a building. I still say we because I still help when I can. But I did all their promotions and flyers, stuff like that, because I had the computer, a little bit of the knowledge to do it. Some of the things I see that the human people do to animals is just horrible. One of them, we were at Adopt-A-Thon. It was kind of chilly outside. And one of the girls come up to me. You can see how we are rolling today. She had just got there, and she handed me this blanket, this bundled up blanket. And she said, "Here, take care of them. I'll be right back." And I opened up the blanket, and there were 3 little kittens in there with their umbilical cords still attached. And, of course, I immediately pulled my shirt and got my shirt where I could have my skin exposed. And I put them right up against me, and then with the blanket over them. and she come back out with bottle and kitten formula. And they had seen somebody throw these kittens away in a dumpster. And she climbed in and she got them. And so we sat there and I nursed them. I fed them and, you know, rubbed their little butts to make them poop and did things like that. And we had one girl that just about had a contract put out on her from a organization in another state because their quote unquote humane society was horrible and they had animals dying. She went in and stole some. But I enjoyed that work. My health doesn't let me be why are you swishing your tail at me? Reliable to make sure I can be at places if I sign up for something. So I never sign up for something. When I can go, I go. But a lot of times I look for like animal carts or carriers and crates and stuffed animals and baby blankets. A lot of baby blankets I don't keep for myself. I give them to the animals. Or if I will buy the stained ones from the places because they're going to be put in the kennels and going to be stained anyway. Donate money. I just do what I can. So this video, I'm just now realizing, is running a little long. But those are some things about me that some of y'all may or may not have known. And I'm thankful for everything that I've done and that has happened to me in my life because it's made me who I am today. So Savannah and I are probably going to snuggle a little bit today. I just love playing with her little feetsies here. Phoenix is still over there twitching his tail. Aren't you, big boy? You going to come say goodbye? Come over here and say goodbye. Okay. You got to look up here and say goodbye. Say, this is Kat signing off. You just want to be petted. Okay, this is Kat, Phoenix, and Savannah signing off, saying I hope everybody has a great day. Don't show your butt. Has a great day. Meow. Meow.